Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope you are in a good condition. Today we are going to have next discussion of complex grammar. This is passive voice because we have so many points to discuss for passive voice because this includes all the tenses that you have to learn, you have to master in passive voice. So I divide the passive voice discussion for two meetings. For now, we'll be focused on the discussion, or I mean, the main discussion of passive voice, and we will focusly doing the exercise or paying attention on the explanation for some tenses, from present tense, present perfect, past tense, and past perfect. And then for next week, we will focus on the future form. So later we will discuss about that, but the main explanation will be taken from this PowerPoint. Okay, are you ready for today? Yeah, let's start with the explanation. So in passive voice, this is the point is changing the active sentence into passive. So if you have learned the form of bahasa Indonesia, for example, saya makan nasi, nasi dimakan saya, it is easy to recognize the form in bahasa Indonesia because we only have to pay attention on the additional element. For example, for active, saya memakan atau saya langsung makan, we only use the verb, or we add additional element me atau imbuhan me, for the passive one, nasi dimakan, so there is specific additional element di, what happened with English? Is there any specific form of passive voice that we can recognize easily when we see some sentences? Yes, of course. We have these kinds of specific identifying method so that you can know whether the sentence is active or passive. Okay, let's check first for the active and passive verb. So active and passive verb uh, deals with the verb that is used in the sentence in case of active and passive. In active voice, the subject and verb relationship is straightforward. The subject is the beer or the doer, and the verb moves the sentence along. What does it mean? When it is active, so the flow is clearly the flow is clearly happens in the sentence. For example, I eat the apple. I eat the apple. In this case, the subject is the doer, is someone who eat the apple. Who is it? I. I eat the apple. The structure is clearly can be seen subject, verb, and object, like that. In passive, the subject of the sentence is neither a doer or the beer. This is the object itself. So it act upon by some other agent or by something unnamed. When I give the example, I eat the apple, so we can easily change to move the apple in the first position, to move the object into the positions of subject. The apple, and then we put the to be. Because the apple is singular, so we use is. Why we use is? Because this is present tense. I ate the apple. I'm not saying that I did not eat the apple or I ate the apple. This is past tense, right? So to be should follow the tenses of a sentence. When it is present tense, so the to be should be in present tense. What are the to be in present tense? Is, am, are. So because apple is singular, then you use is. The apple is eaten by me. Eaten taken from the eat. This is the past participle. Ya, atau saya bilang bentuk ketiga. Jadi dalam pasif, in all form of passive, we have to put past participle or verb 3 in every kind of tenses. What makes them different is only on to be. When it is present, then you should put present to be is MR. When it is past tense, then you have to put the to be in past tense. What are they? Was or were. And when it is perfect, then you have to use been. Okay? Okay. Then when actually we use passive, Mom, this is there's nothing wrong if I use active or we use passive. But for the case of uh, academic academic what is it paper, you have to be able to write in passive. So in what case that we use passive? We use passive voice when it is more important to draw our attention to the person or the thing acted upon. The example here, the unidentified victim was apparently struck during the early morning hours. Yeah, when the focus of the sentence should be put in the person or in the object. Yeah, so we use passive. Okay, and then the next, when the actor in the situation is not important, or we de-emphasize an unknown subject or actor. The actor is not important. The important thing is the process or the object. Then you have to use passive. The examples, the aurora borealis can be observed in the early morning hours. Yeah, the things here we want to emphasize the aurora borealis, that we only can see this aurora only in the early morning. Jadi yang ditekankan di sini adalah pentingnya kita menyampaikan tentang si objeknya, ya, tentang aktornya atau si pelakunya itu kita kesampingkan. Kita tidak terlalu membawanya dalam sentence, tapi yang penting di sini adalah prosesnya atau objeknya. Jadi contoh yang di sini ada aurora bisa diobservasi, ya, bisa diobservasi di jam-jam pagi hari. Itu. Jadi kita utamakan itu si auroranya, bahwa siapa agentnya, siapa, semua orang itu bisa melihat aurora ini, bisa mengamati aurora di pagi hari. Artinya we ignore the doer, siapa aja bisa, maksudnya adalah siapa saja, tapi yang spesifik di sini adalah si auroranya. Okay? Next, when your reader don't need to know who is responsible for the action. Who is responsible for the action? Jadi ketika pembaca tidak perlu mengetahui siapa yang bertanggung jawab terhadap tindakan. Coba kita lihat contohnya. Baby Sophia was delivered at 3:30 a.m. yesterday. Ya. Bayi Sophia dilahirkan jam 3 kemarin. Yang lahirin siapa? Pasti ibunya, ya kan? So we don't need to emphasize the mother. We only focus on the baby. Jadi si baby Sophia ini kemarin lahir. Anaknya lahir. Kalau nanya, lah siapa yang lahirin? Nggak mungkin kan King Kong. Jadi di sini si ibu-ibunya ini dikesampingkan, tapi yang diutamakan adalah bayinya. Bahwa dalam sebuah kehamilan pasti si bayi ini dinantikan kan kelahirannya, maka ketika menyampaikan hal tersebut bisa disampaikan bayinya sudah dilahirkan, ya, kecuali something happen with the mother, ibunya dilarikan ke rumah sakit karena pendarahan ketika melahirkan. Nah, itu baru kita tekankan si ibunya. So, when we want to emphasize something, a person or the object, we have to use passive. Ya, a mother is taken to the hospital because of the bleeding. Okay, you got a point? Okay, next. Ini sama aja ya. Ketika kapan kita menggunakan pasif, kapan kita menggunakan pasif. So when we use passive voice, we use it in scientific or technical writing or lab report, where the actor is not really important, but the process or principle being described is of the ultimate importance. Yeah. So when you write your paper letter in skripsi, you have to know for explaining the process, you use passive, don't use active, ya. Jadi misal contohnya begini, dalam skripsi misalkan dijabarkan, saya memberikan tes pretest kepada mahasiswa untuk melihat hasil penerapan metodenya, ya. Maka dalam hal ini kalian tidak perlu menjelaskan seperti itu, tapi langsung saja. Pretest diberikan kepada siswa untuk mencari tahu hasil dari treatmentnya. Itu seperti itu. So, the pretest was given to the students. Itu kalian menggunakan pasif, ya. Kenapa begitu? Karena di situ kan laporan penelitian. Pastilah yang melakukan adalah si peneliti. Di sini yang diterapkan, yang ingin disampaikan adalah prosesnya sebenarnya bagaimana. Nah, ketika kalian menyampaikan proses, maka disarankan untuk menggunakan pasif, kecuali siapa yang melakukan itu menjadi hal penting untuk disampaikan kepada pembaca. Oke? Nah, sama halnya ketika when you describe a mechanical process. Ya, the first coat of the primer paint is applied immediately after the acid rinse. Ya, jadi proses mekanisme sesuatu itu disampaikan dalam bentuk pasif. Oke. Nah, ketika dalam paragraf atau teks kita menggunakan passive voice untuk to create good effect in a paragraph in which we wish to shift emphasis from what was the object in the first sentence to what becomes the subject in subsequent sentences. Yeah, so we use passive voice to create good effect. So the flow of or the cohesiveness in a text can be built. Okay, look at the paragraph. The executive committee approved an entirely new policy for dealing with academic suspension and withdrawal. The policy had been written by a subcommittee on students' behavior. If students withdraw from the coursework before suspension can take effect, the policy states a mark if blah blah blah. Ya, coba kita lihat kalimat yang pertama. Take a look at the first sentence. The executive committee approved an entirely new policy. Ya, ini, this is the agent. The executive committee approve in past, ya, in past tense. So the subject is introduced here. In the first sentence, the subject is introduced. And then the object is new policy. They created new policy. Okay? Because this first sentence has been completely introduced in the beginning of the paragraph, and we want to clarify more about the new policy, then it is not important again to bring the executive committee. Yeah, so we can directly emphasize on new policy and put this new policy as the or in the positions of subject. The policy had been written by a subcommittee on students' behavior. The policy refer to the new policy. Yeah, it is put on the beginning of the sentence, so this form should be in passive. Had been written. Had been written. This is past perfect. Okay, the policy is put in the beginning of the sentence. So the flow from the first sentence to the second sentence is happen clearly, and it is creating new good effect for the paragraph. Okay, so this is the functions of passive voice. And then the next, verbal in passive structure. We have an infinitive phrase in the passive voice. Take a look at this example. An infinitive phrase, yeah. Infinitive phrase means that a phrase that is begin with uh, to to be to be plus past participle. Okay, take a look at this one. To be elected by my peer is a great honor. Nah, this to be elected by my peer become the subject in this sentence. But the phrase is in passive voice. Dalam bahasa Indonesianya bagaimana? Terpilih atau dipilih oleh teman-temanku merupakan sebuah kebanggaan. Dipilih oleh teman-temanku, ya, dipilih. Dan ini this is the form of infinitive phrase. Oke. Okay? Now, bagaimana an infinitive phrase itu diletakkan dalam objeknya? Take a look at the second example. That child really likes to be read to be read to by her mother. Nah ini to be read to be read ini adalah an infinitive phrase di posisi objek. The child really likes to be read to by her mother. Okay, and then sebagai modifier diletakkan sebagai modifier. Grasso was the first woman to be elected governor in her own right. Grasso was the first woman. Ini adalah modifier untuk infinitive phrase to be elected governor. Ya. Grasso, perempuan pertama yang dipilih sebagai gubernur. Ya, itu adalah bentuk modifier. Oke, ini adalah verbal in passive structure. Lalu, and then the next, the same is true of passive gerund. Subject, as a subject, ya, this is the same position as the previous one. The subject being elected by my peers. This is the same one. The difference is only the gerund. In this case, this is being, and then this one to be elected. Being elected. This is the same. Okay. And then the next, I really don't like being lectured. As in the gerund is in the object, and then the object of proposition. I'm so tired of being lectured. Yeah, this is the preposition. Okay, but the form is in passive structure. Infinitive phrase passive structure and gerund in passive structure. And then we have verbs with two objects. I believe that you find these kinds of sentences in many examples, yeah. And maybe it leads to confusion when you find this one and try to change into passive. How to deal with that? Okay, I have provided example here. So some verb that have two objects can make two different active sentences, and so two different passive sentence too. So when you find two objects in one sentence, actually you can change that into two form of two sentences of passive structure. Take a look at this example. He gave me the book. He gave me the book. Me as the first object, the book is the second object. He gave me the book. There is a direct object and indirect object. Ya, yang mana yang direct object, mana yang indirect object? Coba kita perhatikan. He gave me the book. He gave the book to me. He gave the book to me. Menurut kalian mana yang direct object, mana yang indirect object? Ya, nanti dibahas di chat ya. Nah, ketika kalian menemukan struktur seperti ini, when you find these kinds of structure, then you can make two kinds of different sentence, yeah, of passive. The first, I was given the book. I was given the book by him. Okay, and then the next, the book was given to me by him. Okay, look at this one. Me here is put in the subject. The book is put in the subject. So these two sentences is possible to construct when there are two objects in one sentence. Okay, so we have the same rules for the other verbs like ask, offer, teach, tell, lend, promise, sell, and throw. So when you find these kinds of sentence, yeah, it is possible to have two objects for these verbs. Okay? Okay. Next, passive insubordinate clauses. You can make the passive insubordinate clause that has a subject and normal conjugate verb, normal passive. We have the example, I thought that Mary had kept the book. Look at this one. This is subordinate clause. Okay? Subordinate clause. Mary had kept the book. So we can change the passive. I thought that. Yeah, you don't need to change this one, but this one should be changed. Okay? I thought that the book had been kept by Mary. Okay? Because this is the object, you have to put that in the subject position. Had kept should be changed into passive construction. Had been kept by Mary. Okay? That is for passive insubordinate clauses. And then the next, how actually we can identify the sentence, whether it is passive or active. Yeah, when you try to identify a sentence, whether it is active or passive, the first thing is, please take a look at the to be and past participle. So when you see a sentence contains with to be and past participle, then you can say that it is passive. Okay? What kinds of to be? It depends on the sentence. It can be present to be, it can be past to be, or it is perfect to be. Yeah, the point is you have to check the past participle. When there is to be, plus past participle, then you can say that this is passive. How is the examples? The apple is eaten. You can see is and you can see eaten, then it is passive. Okay, and then the next, does the sentence describe an action? If so, where is the actor? Is he or she or it in the grammatical subject position at the front of the sentence, or in the object position at the end of the sentence, or missing entirely? You have to check the actor. Yeah, and you have to think that, is it a process? Yeah, for example, the thief was arrested. The thief was arrested. This is the process of arresting the thief. Then you can say that, okay, this is passive. You got a point? The apple is eaten. The apple is eaten. This is the process of eating the apple. Okay? Okay. And is there, what is the actor? If it is in the subject, then it is active. If it is on the object position or there is no actor, so you can say this is passive. Okay? And then, does the sentence end with by? If you see in the final position, yeah, there is by, then you can say that this is passive. For example, the apple is eaten by me. When you see the sentence contains with by, yeah, like that, the apple is eaten by me, then you can say that it is passive. How to evaluate that? If you want to evaluate, after you identify that, check this one. Is the doer or actor indicated, or should you indicate him or her or it? Yeah, and then does it really matter who's responsible for the action? You have to think, ini perlu nggak orangnya atau si agentnya or si the doernya itu dikeluarin? If you think that it is not important, then yes, you are reading the passive. And then would your reader ask you to clarify a sentence because of an issue related to your use of the passive? Ketika kalian baca ulang kalimat yang kalian buat, lalu memunculkan pertanyaan ini yang pelakunya ini harus disampaikan, ya, atau orang ini belum tahu siapa yang ngelakuin, maka you have to change that into active. But when you think that the doer is not important, yeah, then you can change into passive. Okay, do you use a passive construction in your thesis statement? And then do you use the passive or crutch in summarizing plot of or history or in describing something? Or do you want to emphasize the object? So you have to evaluate that when you want to use the passive. Okay, and then how to revise? If you decide that your sentence would be clearer in active voice, then you can change that. Change by putting the agent or the doer in the subject position. Yeah, you have to switch the sentence around to make the subject or the actor one. Put the actor in front of the verb, as I said. If you think that the agent is not important to be introduced to the reader, but you have to emphasize the process, then you can use the passive. Okay, and then the things that you should remember to make you easy in all kind of tenses, the point in passive formation is that you only have to put to be verb and past participle. This is the point of all tenses. Yeah, of course, you have to understand the structure of the tenses first. Yeah, all kinds of tenses. And then when you want to change that into passive, then it is easy. You just need to add the to be and change the verb into past participle. Okay, this is adjusted. The to be is adjusted with the tenses. Jadi poinnya adalah to be plus past participle untuk semua jenis tenses. Gimana bukan beda-beda? Iya, beda-beda menyesuaikan dengan tensesnya. Kalau present, to be-nya ya is MR. Kalau past ya was were. Kalau yang perfect ya have atau had. Ya. Lalu been itu to be-nya. Terus ke belakangnya gimana, Bu? Udah tinggal ubah aja semuanya ke past participle. Past participle itu apa sih? Verb 3. Ya. Seperti contohnya, the examples like I read the book. The book is read by me. Ya kan? I walked or I talked about the truth. I talked, ini kan past tense-nya, about the truth. The truth was talked by me. I talked the truth. Itu kan aktifnya. talk di sini pakainya verb 2. Ya. Lalu ketika mau diubah ke dalam pasifnya, kalau verb 2 itu berarti past tense kan? Nah, to be-nya apa? Was atau were? Disesuaikan. Milih was sama were-nya itu disesuaikan dengan objeknya, objek yang ditaruh di depannya. The truth itu tunggal, maka kita pakainya was. The truth was talked. Talk-nya nggak berubah bentuknya karena bentuk past participle dari talked adalah talk lagi. Oke, the truth was talked by me. Oke, itu inti dari passive verb formation. You get a point? Nah, ya. Berikutnya, untuk meeting yang hari ini, for this meeting, I only focus on these 4 tenses. Tapi nanti kita pelan-pelan ya. If you think that you need more time to understand this all, then we can add one more meeting. Ya. Okay. Let's see for the present tense. The present tense, the example, the car is designed. Ya. Atau the cars are designed. This is already in passive structure. The car, this is singular, with to be is. And this is the past participle or verb 3. To be, verb 3. Okay. The cars are designed. Cars, plural, to be-nya are. Design, this is past participle or verb 3. Present perfect, the car has been designed. Ya, the car, this is singular. Present perfect should be put with has, and then to be-nya itu been, and then this is past participle. What about the plural? This is cars, then this one should be in have. Okay, follow with been, and this is still designed. Okay, the car was designed. This is was for the singular subject, and then the cars were designed. And then past perfect, the car had been designed. Yeah, for past perfect, there is no change for this one. Yeah, the cars had still the same. Yeah, so it is easy for past perfect because there is no change. Yeah, for the singular and plural. Okay, look at this one. For the active voice, we have transitive and intransitive. Yeah, the point is still the same. You may be what is it, confused or make you difficult to understand. So later you can read this one. But the point is for the present tense, you can put subject, verb, and the object for the active, and for passive, subject as a direct object, and then is MR and past participle. Okay, this is the example. People make books from trees. Books are made from trees. You can introduce this one or ignore this one, it's okay. Yeah, but the passive form is books are made from trees. Okay, books, this is plural. The to be is the to be here is are, and then made is past participle. This is the intransitive form. He often sleeps on the right side of the bed. The right side of the bed is often slept on by him. Is often slept on by him. This is intransitive. And for the negative, subject does, do or does not, and then bare infinitive, and then subject for passive is MR, not, past participle, and agent. Look at the example. I don't take the book. The book is not taken by me. The book tunggal, to be-nya disesuaikan is karena dia satu, tambahin not karena this is negatif, taken itu past participle-nya, by me. Seperti yang disampaikan bahwa by me itu ciri dari pasif. Oke, berikutnya untuk bentuk pertanyaannya kita langsung ke sini aja ya. I think you will be confused with the rules. Do you eat the apple? Nah, ini kan bentuk aktifnya. You change. The apple taruh di sini depan. Tapi di sininya bentuk pertanyaannya diawali dengan is dulu. Is the apple eaten by you? Ya. Is to be-nya, the apple itu ambil dari objeknya, eaten itu past participle. By you adalah ciri dari pasif. Oke. Lalu yang present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Kita lihat langsung contohnya ya. Nah, ini. He has prepared great slides for the presentation. Ini aktif kan ya? Look at this one. Great slides. Ada S-nya ya. So this is plural. Maka dipasangkan dengan have, masukkan to be-nya, been, lalu masukkan verb 3-nya, prepared for the presentation. Oke, great slides have been prepared for the presentation. Kalau slide-nya saja tanpa S, maka di sini harusnya apa? Ya, harusnya has. Oke, good. Next, we have verified your application. Lihat di sini, your application. Ada S-nya di belakang tidak? No, there is no S on the final position. So, this must be singular. Lalu dipasang dengan apa? Has. Oke. Lalu ini to be-nya, been, verified, bentuk verb 3. Oke, ini tidak berubah. Oke, tinggal disisipkan been. Cuma posisi dari your application-nya, posisi objeknya dipindahin ke depan. Oke. Next, I have sent the document already. Nah, the document taruh di depan. Karena ini satu, tunggal, maka ini ya diubah ke has, disisipkan been, send-nya tetap, taruh already-nya by me. Ini boleh tuker-tuker ya. Jadi the document has been sent by me already. Seperti itu. Next, my father has just given some money to me. Sorry, ini to me ya. Some money taruh ke depan. Some money itu bentuknya singular ya. Ini money itu nggak bisa dibuat apa namanya bentuk pluralnya itu bukan nggak bisa ya. Lalu kita pasangkan dengan has, just been, ini to be-nya, given sama ya, to me, kepada saya, by my father, ini my father. Oke. Next, kalau bentuk negatifnya, I have not sent the document. The document taruh di depan. Has, kenapa ditaruh has? Karena this is-nya singular. Not karena negatif. Been itu to be-nya disisipkan. Send-nya verb 3 by me. So the document has not been sent by me. Okay. Next, for the question, bentuk pertanyaannya, has she transferred the money? Ini kan bentuk pertanyaan has-nya ditaruh di depan kan? Nah, ini tetap sama. Has the money. Bedanya the money-nya taruh setelah has. Oke. Has the money been transferred by me? Apakah uangnya sudah ditransfer oleh dia? Ya. Has the money been transferred by her? Has sama the money pindah ke depan. Been disisipkan lalu transferred by her ya untuk C-nya. Oke. Next, untuk yang simple past ini rumus utamanya. Lalu this is the example-nya. Kita lihat ini yang positif, negatif dan pertanyaan. She took the art class last semester. Untuk di sini verb 2 ya. Kita ubah art class, ini kan objeknya ya. The art class itu kan satu, this is singular, maka to be-nya adalah was. Lalu diletakkan taken, bentuk ketiga dari took-nya ya, taken by her last semester. The art class was taken by her last semester. Bentuk negatifnya, she did not take the history class last semester. Dia tidak mengambil kelas sejarah semester lalu. maka kelas sejarah ditaruh di depan. The historic class, ini kan satu ya, maka to be-nya adalah was, letakkan not, taken diambil dari take untuk bentuk ketiga ya. And then did she register all the classes? Were all the classes registered by her? Yeah, that is the examples for past tense. And this is for past perfect. We have to look at this example. They had formulated, yeah, formulated the theorem since 1819. This is had been formulated, and then they had not submitted the proof, become the proof had not been submitted. And then had the judges decided the sentence for the suspect, become had the sentence been decided for the suspect. You can look back to the rules. If you want to pay attention on the rules, then you can check for the examples. Okay, so the next part will be continued next week. Yeah, we will talk about this one. Okay, so you only focus on this one. For today activity, you only take a look at the explanation from me. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for today. I hope you can understand the explanation for today. Please listen carefully to the explanation and look back if you find some difficulties on the part, and then you can ask the question to me in WhatsApp group. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.